This was just terrifying for her. She was at this intersection right over here behind me, waiting for the light to turn green when someone just started shooting at her with a paintball gun. The paintballs got everywhere on her car. There was one here, a couple over here, one here on the windshield. The paint just got everywhere in the cracks, the vents. There were a couple of dents in the windshield. And she says, listen to this, it's going to cost more than $5,000 to fix her car. Just behind this fence right here, well, it used to be a parking lot, but as you can see, it's now water. Originally, city leaders told us they expected to finish the project in February 2019. Well, it was pushed back to May, and now a third change has been requested. The city hasn't confirmed when the mess will be cleaned up, but the Public Works Department says the project could be completed in January of next year. The two victims from Lake City were out in the pier yesterday enjoying some early morning fishing when that violent attack happened. Deputies say they were both beaten with baseball bats. Now, deputies say the dad was right over there driving on First Coast Highway about 100 feet away, flashing his headlights, trying to get help. His son was over here on the pier, sitting in a chair, bleeding with some serious damage to his face, including fractures. By the way, JFRD says those radios cost about $5,000 each. They are still missing, but the signals have been disconnected, so no other fake calls can be made. And we've been right there with firefighters all night until about 45 minutes ago. FHP had us move for safety reasons. We're now on US 17, and you can see in the distance, we're going to zoom in for you. You can actually see the fire, all those orange spots out there. Firefighters tell me it's spread into 5 sections. Tonight, firefighters are watching the Yellow Bluff fire as it makes its way closer and closer to I-95. Nearby neighbors are hoping it stays away from their homes.
I'm hoping it stays in those woods, like far away from us.
If this gets too close, I'll start pushing.
Florida Forest Service says 2 fires started on the railroad tracks near US 17 by the Duval-Nassau County line late this afternoon. Firefighters were able to quickly put out one of the fires, but the other continued to spread. By helicopter, FSS dumped water onto the fire, but gusty winds pushed it toward I-95, now a 100-acre fire. As thick smoke pours out of the woods, neighbors are urged to slow down and use caution.
That's all you can do, stand by and watch and hope for the best.
Neighbors know with hotter weather on the way, the threat will only get worse from here.
We need some rain, badly.
And just one more reminder that northbound, one of the northbound lanes, they're closed right now. A spokesperson with Florida Forest Service tells me that visibility around 4:30 in the morning could be terrible for drivers, and overnight closures are expected. As soon as we get any updates out here, we'll let you know on actionnewsjax.com. Reporting live in North Duval, Amber Krycka, Fox 30, Action News Jax. Yeah, sad night out here. So many people, dozens of people out here tried to help these whales, and right here behind me you can see one of the whales right here that did not make it. I know this is probably hard to see for some people tonight. And you can see a lot of people out here taking pictures, very curious. The other whale that just died in the last 20 minutes or so is about 2 to 3 miles from here. Now we can take a look at this video from earlier. This is incredible. Someone was capturing this on Facebook Live as several whales were beached on St. Simon's Island near East Beach. You can see dozens of people out here trying to help. You can see people, they splashing water onto the whales, trying to push them back into the water. A spokesperson with Georgia Department of Natural Resources tells me they are pilot whales. And he says these kinds of whales, they travel in packs. He says they are very friendly. And so when one falls behind, they won't leave them. They'll stay by their side until they join back with them. Now, this is video we got of one of the whales they were having a hard time with. DNR tells me 2 whales they believe were sick. Not confirmed yet, but that's what they believe right now. And they were having a hard time getting those whales back into the water. And on top of all of that, Alicia Lanier, who was helping, says the other whales, they were trying to come back and join those other whales.
We're trying to turn her, and we were just making a barrier to keep them from washing up onto the rocks because the waves were pretty good, and they didn't want it to wash them into the rocks and hurt them anymore. And so we just made a big human barrier and kept them off the rock.
And the other whales, I'm told, at last check were between Jekyll Island and St. Simon's Island. DNR says maybe the tide will help carry them back out to sea. Now, for these 2 whales right here, DNR tells me that they'll be back out here tomorrow morning to take them to wildlife management, and that's when they'll do the autopsy. Reporting live in St. Simons Island, Amber Krycka, Action News Jax.
And Amber, every once in a while we'll hear of some kind of animal becoming beached or washing up, but this many whales at once, has anything like this ever happened before?
That's one of the questions I had. I know a lot of people were curious about that too. And DNR tells me that the last time something like this has happened was back in the 80s, so about 30 plus years ago.
All of a sudden, we heard this big explosion.
Jenna Lentz says she never would have believed.
I initially thought either somebody drove through the house or the roof collapsed.
That her washing machine could do something like this.
We went in there and there was water everywhere. It looked like the tub pretty much came out the backside, and it had rotated around 180 degrees.
Her 9-year-old GE Profile top-loading washing machine looked like something had exploded inside.
And then it punched holes right here and in the back as well.
On the other side of that damaged wall, Lentz tells me her 1-month-old baby was sleeping.
So it could have been really bad.
She tells me GE sent a serviceman to check it out.
He was in shock. He's never seen anything like this.
Lentz says he blamed faulty shock absorbers. Action News Jax told you back in September about another family who claimed a 22-pound concrete block shot out of their Whirlpool front-loading duet washer.
I'm just glad my family wasn't here when that happened.
The company sent the family a $1,200 check to buy a new one. I checked the Consumer Product Safety Commission website and found this complaint filed just 3 months ago about a 2006 GE front-loading washing machine. The owner saying it vibrated itself to exploding. We also found other complaints from people who reported their front-loading machines by Whirlpool had violent vibration events. Lentz says after reporting the damage, GE sent her this email saying she could get a new GE washer model for about $640.
They described it as a discounted price, and that's not a discounted price.
Hi, Wendy. This is Amber Krycka with Action News Jax. But when I reached out to GE, the company said something different. In this statement, a spokesman says they apologized and were in the process of exchanging the washer, adding GE Appliances is committed to providing consumers with products that are safe and meet our product quality standards.
I'm grateful that nobody was in there when this happened, because it could have been really, really bad.
The laundry room has been cleaned up, the washer replaced. This mom now expects the only thing to come out of her machine is clean clothes. Reporting in Jacksonville, Amber Krycka, CBS 47, Action News Jax.